It's time for the Vissla CT Shaper Rankings update.
Shaper Ranking!
Background, this is our second full season of determining who the best surfboard shaper in the world is. Shapers are given points based on the performance of their surfers on boards that finish in the quarterfinals or better of the championship tour events. It's combined rankings, both men's and women's, so the higher the surfer places, the more points that shaper receives. We are tracking the Vissla CT Shaper Rankings from Event 1 through the end of the regular season to crown a winner before the WSL Finals. So, when the dust had settled on the Vissla CT Shaper Rankings post Western Australia Margaret River Pro, it was Matt Biola's and Lost Surfboards consolidating their position as number one on the rankings. WA did deliver one of the more spread out performances of the season. We had 10 shapers collecting results out of 16 places, but with Lost Surfboards grabbing both women's finalists, and a men's fifth, it really separated them from the pack of the other competitors in their tier. And by that, I mean shaping programs that have a similar number of team riders on their program really failed to grab results at the same pace as Lost in WA.
Yeah.
And with 4 events to go, it'll be interesting to see if anyone can catch up. Now, of course, a ton can change event to event. It's about 20,000-ish points between first and second right now. We can see a run at any of these stops moving forward, but Lost is in a great position. Mitch, what did you notice from a shaping and surfboard perspective out in WA?
Well, obviously, the main thing, Pyzel still work as great as always. But, as we touched on in our previous 2 episodes, how well with boards with Hawaiian shapers and Hawaiian models translate to the Western Australia region. They did well. I mean, look at TNC. Sally Fitzgibbons had a couple amazing heats out there. Brisa Hennessy makes it to the finals in, her 3rd or 4th appearance so far this year, which is just outstanding, by the way. But I really want to point out that Mayhem, too, has made some major improvements when it comes to his boards, especially for waves like this. Driver 3.0 on the smaller days, you're probably using the Subdriver 2.0, which is a really good groveler board, or just high-performance shortboard that you can ride in anything. And then, of course, we have JS, who had a couple of great heats, but eventually lost out with both Sam and Miguel, and then also Fred Moraes. But boards that look good with Ramsey Bukim, of course. Really like his style on those kind of waves. But once again, nearly 20,000 points separating first and second. And then you go second and third, more than 37,000 points separating Sharp Eye and Channel, or just under 37,000 points. That's a big difference right there. So to me, both Channel Eye and Pyzel, they have a lot of catching up to do. You want to see John in more finals over the course of the year. But I think it's going to be Sharp Eye Mayhem really going 1-2 in terms of the outcome of the season. And they have great surfers, especially in the back end of the year, where a lot of them have had major success too. We've talked about Kanoe Garashi, how consistent he is. He's looked good for Sharp Eye so far this year. But to me, Mayhem, having both Griff, Gabby, Caroline in that kind of conversation of world champion once again. Joanne DeFay didn't necessarily have a good result here, but she's also doing great for Sharp Eye. Big props again to Jake Marshall. I mean, makes it to the round of 16, loses in the last few minutes to Imai DeVault. He's also a great rider for Sharp Eye. I think he's going to have an excellent back end of the year. And, of course, Jack Robinson, major proponent for Sharp Eye, but he wasn't riding that on finals day. So, to me, that's a major difference in the points they accumulated too, Dave.